Welcome back to Warriors Nation News, the home for every true Golden State Warriors supporter. If you're here, it's because you live and breathe blue and gold, and you're always ready to talk basketball. Real basketball, the kind that builds dynasties and inspires generations. Now, let's talk about the hottest name on the NBA free agency market, Damian Lillard. Yep, you heard that right. Dame time is officially back on the table, after a stunning move by the Milwaukee Bucks, who used the NBA's stretch provision to release him earlier this week. And guess what? The Golden State Warriors are right in the mix. But here's the thing. While fans around the league are rushing to speculate, we're going to slow it down and break it down. Because sometimes patience is power, especially when you're chasing banners. Damian Lillard is a 9-time All-Star, a cold-blooded scorer with a playoff resume that demands respect. Sure, he's recovering from a torn Achilles suffered in April, but don't let that cloud your vision. Let's be real, Lillard isn't just another name on the market. He's a potential game changer, especially for teams that are right on the cusp of contention. And yes, that includes our very own Golden State Warriors. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. Since winning the championship in 2022, the Warriors have hit a bit of turbulence. 3 straight years without getting past the Western Conference semifinals. Missed the playoffs entirely in 2024. The critics are loud, but so were they before the 2022 title run. This team still has the core. This team still has the culture. What it needs is that spark. Could that spark be Damian Lillard? Imagine this. A fully healthy Lillard joining Steph Curry in the backcourt, bringing double-threat playmaking, veteran composure, and the type of deep-range shooting that forces defenses to stretch beyond their limits. Opposing teams would have to choose. Do you double Steph or do you double Dame? Either way, they lose. Of course, let's not ignore reality. Dame is still recovering, and he likely won't play until after the 2026 All-Star break. That means whoever signs him now is playing the long game, just like the Warriors did with Klay Thompson after his injuries, and we all know how that turned out. Let's also consider the competition. The Lakers are reportedly interested, but they're in the middle of a roster identity crisis. No real center, cap space drama, and LeBron isn't getting younger. Then there's Boston, likely without Jason Tatum all season, and having just parted ways with key contributors. Neither team offers the system, leadership, or championship DNA that Golden State does. If Lillard wants to chase a ring, not just rehab and peace, the Warriors are the logical move. No pressure to rush back, no need to carry a team alone, and the chance to join a proven core that knows how to win. So, here's where we stand, Dub Nation. Damian Lillard is available. The Warriors are watching. And this offseason just got a lot more interesting. But let's not rush it. Let's do what winning franchises do. We analyze, we plan, and we strike when the time is right. Now I want to hear from you. Would you welcome Dame to the Bay? Would you be willing to wait until 2026 for him to return fully healthy and join the squad for a title push? Or do you think the Warriors should focus on a different direction entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going, Warrior style. This is Warriors Nation News, and we're just getting started. Stay locked in.
Welcome back to Warriors Nation News, your go-to spot for everything Golden State. We've got legacy, loyalty, and leadership. And today, we're diving deeper into something that could redefine what Warriors basketball looks like for years to come. In Chapter 1, we asked a big question. Should Damian Lillard join the Warriors? In Chapter 2, we're going a level deeper. Let's talk about what that actually means, on the court, in the locker room, and in the storybook of the franchise. Because let's be honest, if Dame walks through those Chase Center doors, it's not just a move, it's a statement. Let's start on the court. Pairing Damian Lillard with Stephen Curry would create arguably the most dangerous offensive backcourt the NBA has ever seen. We're talking about two of the deepest shooters in league history, two players who can pull up from 35 feet and make it look routine. Defenders can't hide, defensive schemes can't keep up, and when Dame's healthy, they'll be forced to choose their poison every possession. Double Dame and Steph kills you. Double Steph and Dame eats you alive. But here's the twist. This wouldn't just be about scoring. One of the biggest problems the Warriors faced last season was the lack of reliable secondary playmaking when Steph sat or got trapped. Jordan Poole was gone. Chris Paul didn't fit the system. Clay, despite all his greatness, isn't a playmaker. That left Steph doing too much for too long. Enter Dame. His career average of 7.2 assists per game, that's not a fluke. That's a floor general. He's capable of running the offense when Steph rests, orchestrating the pick and roll with younger guys like Jonathan Kuminga or Brandon Podziemski, or feeding shooters like Moses Moody in rhythm. This is more than firepower. This is stability. Now, let's talk fit. Critics might say that two undersized guards won't work defensively, but we've heard this before, haven't we? People said Steph couldn't defend. People said the dynasty couldn't win with a small lineup. What did the Warriors do? 4 championships, 6 finals, countless receipts. Besides, the Warriors have always thrived with team defense, not individual shutdown artists. Draymond Green is still anchoring that end. Gary Payton II, Wiggins. These are perimeter defenders who can help cover matchups. If you've got Dame and Steph scoring 60 combined on one end, you only need competent defense on the other. And what about the locker room? Lillard is known for his humility, his loyalty, and his respect for the game. He's not chasing the spotlight, he's chasing the moment. He's the kind of veteran that fits into Golden State's culture without disrupting it. A guy who understands the grind, a player who wants to win the right way. There's no ego war here. Steph's the leader, Draymond's the voice. Dame would be the bonus weapon, a superstar who brings his own fire but knows how to blend it with the group. And let's be real, Steph and Dame together, that's must-watch TV every night. So let's zoom out. Could the Warriors use another big? Sure. Could they use youth development? Always. But if a player like Damian Lillard becomes available, you pick up the phone. Not for hype, not for headlines, for hardware. Lillard wouldn't be a savior, he'd be a strategic piece, a luxury most teams can't afford. But the Warriors, with the right moves and a healthy game in 2026, could flip the Western Conference on its head. Again. Now I want to hear from you. How do you see Dame fitting next to Steph? Would the Warriors need to change their system, or would Dame simply plug in and elevate the whole team? And what would you be willing to give up, if anything, to bring him to the Bay? Let us know in the comments. This is your voice, your team, your Warriors Nation.
Welcome back to Warriors Nation News, where we don't just talk basketball, we talk about building legacies. Over the past 2 chapters, we've broken down Damian Lillard's availability, his potential fit with the Warriors, and the historic possibility of pairing him with Stephen Curry. Now, here in Chapter 3, it's time to look forward, way forward. Because if Dame joins the Warriors, we're not just adding a piece, we're rewriting the blueprint for how a dynasty reloads without rebuilding. The league is changed, super teams rise and fall in seasons, but here in the Bay, we've built something different, something lasting, and Lillard could help us extend that legacy into the next era of Warriors basketball. Let's talk strategy. Steph Curry is still elite, but the clock is ticking. He'll be 37 when Damian Lillard is expected to return post-All-Star break in 2026. Draymond isn't getting younger. Klay Thompson has moved on. The core is aging. That's just the truth. But aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean evolution, and that's where Dame fits in. The Warriors don't need to blow it all up. They need a transition plan, a bridge between eras, and Lillard can be that bridge. He can shoulder scoring in the short term, allowing Steph to preserve his legs for postseason runs. He can serve as the mentor and leader the young guys need, while still giving you 20-plus points per game. And when 2027 rolls around, you could be looking at a team with Lillard still dangerous, Curry still efficient, and a matured core of Kuminga, Podziemski, and Moody. That's a group with balance, veteran IQ, and youthful energy. That's a group no one wants to face in a best-of-7. We've seen it before. The Warriors don't need to chase the headlines like other franchises. They've always won with identity, system, and trust. And Dame, despite all his talent, has never had a chance to play in that kind of culture of excellence. In Portland, he was the lone star carrying the load. In Milwaukee, he was misused in a system that never gave him rhythm. In Golden State, he'd be free. free to do what he does best: lead, score, compete, and most importantly, win. But this isn't just about 2026. This is about the next 5 years of the franchise. If the front office plays this right, the Warriors could avoid the painful rebuilds that hit teams like the Spurs or Rockets after their championship windows closed. They could thread the needle, compete now, and build for later, all at once. That's the ultimate Warriors move. That's championship-level thinking. So, here's the vision, Warriors Nation. You don't just add Lillard because he's available. You add him because he fits our future. Because he gives Steph one last real shot at another ring. Because he turns the end of the dynasty into the next chapter. Now we want to hear from you, the heartbeat of this franchise. Is Dame the missing piece for a final run with Steph? Do you see him as a long-term part of the Warriors' next era? Or should Golden State commit fully to youth and let the dynasty ride into the sunset? Let us know in the comments. This is your team. This is your voice. This is Warriors Nation News, and we're not going anywhere. Thanks for staying with us through this 3-part deep dive. Be sure to subscribe, stay locked in, and keep representing Dub Nation wherever you are. We'll be right here, breaking it all down, one play, one rumor, one championship dream at a time. Until next time, let's go Warriors!